in Kansas City, 18th and Vine, little jazz district, historical district in Kansas City. I just got here. And now it's got some museums, the Negro League's Baseball Museum. I'm going to go in there in a minute. Right there. I guess during the evening hours, there's a few jazz clubs down here. Who knows? I'll probably make my way down. And the National Jazz Museum's in the same spot. Negro League teams, Kansas City. Going up to Brooklyn, Newark, Jacksonville, Orleans. This is a cool quote. Everybody got dressed to the nines to go to the ball game. Not like today, when people dress like they're going to rake leaves. Negro League games, especially the big ones, were the event of the week.
To see these fellows jumping around each other, it looks natural, doesn't it? They are friends, colleagues, competitors. Who's the fastest? Who hits the farthest? Who catches the best? But the words once kept them apart. Kept them from playing side by side, kept them from being on the same team. Words and fears, the ugly part, the underbelly, the bit we don't like to see. It was in full view back then. It was socially acceptable to say, Cap Anson said that. He was a very influential player back in 1887. He wasn't the only person who thought it, but folks listened to him, and that seemed to seal it. Moses Fleetwood Walker was a fine black player, the first to join the major leagues, but his victory was brief. Through a gentleman's agreement, the teams stopped signing Negro ball players. The drought lasted 6 decades, and over that time, heroes were born and died in the Negro Leagues. Players, owners, teams, they were all stars. This museum is full of stories. They'll make you proud, even wistful, and they'll make you wonder how a country started like that. But his greatest contribution to the thrive, indeed survive, if it had some kind of formal structure. Other attempts at forming a league over the years had failed. Rube Foster had the winning formula. The organizational meeting took place right here in Kansas City, just a few blocks away. These are the teams that made up the Negro National League, the first enduring black league. Over the years, black players became known for playing the most exciting baseball, and Rube Foster encouraged it. He'd fine his players $5 if they were tagged out standing up. They were supposed to slide. By 1923, 400,000 black fans were turning out to enjoy the season. When white businessmen saw there was money to be made in segregated ball, through Ed Bolton,
You have ignored the clear statements of the men who play our national pastime and the men who manage the teams. You have refused to acknowledge sports columns and editorials in newspapers throughout the country. The Louisville Courier-Journal last month joined the nationwide demand for the end of Jim Crow in our national pastime and said, baseball in this war should set an example for democracy. May 6, 1942.
Every year at the start of a season, I'd send a questionnaire to every big league owner. Would you be willing to sign a qualified Negro for your team? You know, and so on. The first positive answer I got was from Bill Benswanger, the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Part of it, I surmised, was that Pittsburgh was actually the heart of black baseball at that time, with the Homestead Grays and the Pittsburgh Couriers. Wendell Smith, the sports editor of the Courier, estimates that there were 6 players on those 2 teams that were potentially all-star caliber in the big leagues. You know, they included Josh Gibson and Satchel Paige, Buck Leonard, the first baseman, and Ray Dandridge, the third baseman. Effa Manley, the owner of the Newark Black Eagles, she spoke to me after the campaign was in full swing, and she said kind of bitterly, she said, you know, you people are doing no service to us. You're going to put out of business maybe the best black business in the country, a going concern that uses thousands of black people to work on the ballparks. And she said, you're going to end that if you end segregation. And she was right, of course. It did put a great business out of it. But she finally came around to the longer view, which was, how about all the young black kids growing up who wanted a chance to play in the big leagues?
won its last pennant in 1964, and then began a swift fall through the standings. Within 2 seasons, the Yanks were a last-place team with dwindling fans. From Ruth to DiMaggio to Mantle to Horace Clarke, 40 years of continued excellence had ended. Baseball historian Dick Johnson.
They're starting to bottom out. And it was about time. What hath gone wrong here? You know, he's paying attention now. He's a fan too. The Yankees suck. It was great.
Bob Costas. Among other problems, the Yankees, like so many American League teams, were very slow to sign black and Hispanic players, and they paid for it.
The Yankees' racial intolerance could have been a product of their success. From 1947, the year of Jackie Robinson's debut, to 1964, New York appeared in 15 World Series in 18 years. But as writer Donald Honig suggests, there might have been a more malicious reason.
George Weiss had negative vibrations about black players. The very fact that the New York Yankees did not bring up the first black until 1955 speaks for itself.
And we're outside again after visiting the very cool Negro Leagues Museum right down 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri, coming up on the famous Blue Room Jazz Room. This is I think there's a show tonight. Nightclub. Yeah. That's downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Someone's getting a tour.